Namaste and a very warm welcome to yet another impactful episode with me, Impact Leaders with Simply Suparnaa, where we feature SABERA awardees of the past 7 editions, people who are making a difference in our beautiful country. Today we're joined by Mr. RN Mohanty, the CEO of Sightsavers India, a visionary leader with over 30 years in the development sector. But before I bring him on to your digital screens, as you are aware, I'd like to start by invoking the higher power. Shakti has held me in good stead, and I'd like to start by reciting this very old Sanskrit verse, that of the Saraswati Vandana. Ya kundendu tusharahara dhavala, ya shubhra vastravrita, या वीणा वरदंड मंडित करा या श्वेत पदमासना या ब्रह्मचित्त शंकर प्रभूति भी दैवै सदा वंदिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती विशेष जाड्यपहा. Like I said, a very old Sanskrit verse talks about dispelling the darkness that resides in our hearts through the wisdom of knowledge, through the light of wisdom. And without much further ado, let me bring on to your digital screens Mr. RN Mohanty. Of course, he's fondly referred to as RN, and so am I going to be referring to him as RN. He's dedicated his career to driving change in health and education. Under his guidance, Sightsavers was awarded the SABERA 2020 trophy in education, recognizing their work in transforming lives through inclusive, sustainable impact. Thank you so much, RN, for taking the time for doing this for us.
Thank you so much, Suparna, for having me. Thank you so much.
RN,
A very, very proud SABERA award winner.
Let's start from the very beginning. What is it that actually inspired you? You've been into the development sector for 31 years now, to be precise. What inspired you to begin with? I mean, you're a bright young person, and you have the world as your oyster, as they say, intelligent, got armed with education. Why and how did development sector come about for you?
Yes, Suparna. I mean, nothing really great in that sense that someone really drove me into joining a development sector organization. In those days when I completed my master's, I was a student of economics, and there were courses within the economics which talks about rural development. I studied that a bit, but more than that, what inspired me more is to experiment with what poverty is, to know more about it. We are from a reasonably okay family in Odisha, not known poverty so much in that sense. But when we heard about development sector, how they address poverty, how they address malnutrition issues and things like that, I thought I will join one organization and then see what exactly is that. I told my father that I will join Care India for a year and then come back and do my regular job. Because in those days, parents were not very happy their children joining development sector. They used to feel that people who do not get jobs anywhere else join development sector, NGOs. So, but I joined development sector primarily to make sure that I understand a little bit of what's going on there, how do they transform lives and things like that. I had read about them, and so I joined. But the transformation really came after I joined the organization and started looking at some of the malnutrition issues, the project for which I actually was hired. So that was the beginning.
I remember you telling me in our conversation earlier that you were supposed to do something called a hunger mapping. And that was really something that, kind of stayed with you for you to continue with what you were doing. What is hunger mapping?
Yeah, so this is very interesting, and this probably happened within a month of my joining the sector. So we were doing a hunger mapping, or they used to call. I mean that's the time I came to know the term called baseline. That this is what. So we were given a particular block in a district of Odisha, and I was the team lead with some surveyors. It was a massive survey, and then we used to go household by household, and we had a questionnaire, and it has rice, dal, vegetable, egg, milk. So we used to ask questions, when did you have all of these? Either in a day or the previous day, and then based on the answer you remove it. Largely the answer is no, so you remove one. So then you stay with rice, dal, vegetable, egg. You remove milk, and then you remove egg, and you say rice, dal, vegetable, and then start noting all of this, and then say rice and dal, then say rice, and then say no food, and then start doing these computations based on the responses in those households. And then when you come back and do all these calculations, compute all of this, and then go and present the data, saying that this is what in this block is the level of hunger. And that is probably in the first month, in a month or two, changed my whole perception of doing any experiment. I said, oh, this is the place to stay. And I remember I promised my father a year, and then I stayed until today. So I'm here. I have not joined any other sector in between. I joined Care India and then joined Sightsavers a few years back. So
And we're so
that's
grateful. We're so grateful for your work, for what you've done for India. Thank you so much, RN. In fact, now, while I wouldn't say a lot of parents are hopeful for their children to join the development sector, but I see a shift happening in the youth, like how you took a decision. A lot of the IIT graduates, a lot of the IIM graduates are actually moving towards sustainability for the country. So they may or may not form non-profits, but they're definitely moving towards the social enterprise, so to speak. And you with Sightsavers are focusing on disability inclusion. Tell us a little bit about that.
okay. So primarily Sightsavers work in three basic areas. So the fundamentals of our existence is that no one should go needlessly blind. So we want to contribute to eliminating avoidable blindness. I repeat, avoidable blindness in the country. And why I say avoidable, because close to 80% of the blindness is avoidable, and that's a pity that people are still going blind. So, and of all these, the two major reasons, which is cataracts, not attending to cataracts in time, and not attending to refractive error. That means, go and check your eyes. If you need a spectacles, a pair of glasses, please wear it the moment you need it. And these two contribute to 80% of these. And so therefore, we focus a lot in making sure these two low-hanging fruits are addressed. And we, as Sightsavers India, after having focused on this, we still see there are a lot of blindness, irreversible. People go blind, and then for them, for that group, and for that impact population, we have two other components of our programs, which is called inclusive education, for which actually we got the SABERA award. Thank you so much for that. And then the third one is called social inclusion, which is people with disabilities. We try to mainstream them into the society, making sure they live a dignified life, and there are equal opportunities available to them as they are available to anyone else in the society. So essentially, the first part of our work, which is our major investment in terms of time and energy and money, is making sure that the prevention works, that no one goes blind. So therefore, we work in 100 districts. We have identified 10 states based on certain indicators, and then within those states, we have figured out 100 really remote and needy districts where we will work and do these eye health. And within eye health, we have named them as rural eye health, where we go to these 100 districts, go to remotest of villages, and then do screening and bring those people who need cataract to our partner hospital, get their surgeries done, and then drop them back home. And then the second program we do is called urban eye health, which is essentially for the urban poor. So we work in 20 cities, so 100 districts for rural, 20 cities in the most vulnerable urban cities, where we do similar kind of work. But we also because it's urban, we focus on glaucoma and diabetic retinopathy, which are also growing these days. And the
Got
third
it.
one we focus is on school eye health. So in these districts, we go to a district, pick up all government schools or government aided schools, screen all children, give them spectacles, and then do this routine through school teachers and making sure that this sustains. And every year, uh, students who join class one are screened before they join this thing. And then if they require a pair of glasses, Sightsavers make sure it is there. So this is at a very early age we catch them. And the fourth one, which I want to talk a little bit more about, is called Rahi, which is truckers' eye health.
Oh,
Very, very interesting program. And we, as you know, we have close to between 9 to 12 million truck drivers in the country. I mean, they are the backbone of our economy. You all know this. They drive 30 days a month. Their lifestyle is different and all. And then we started a program for them a few years back, because one of our research studies shows that 47% of them need glasses. So you can imagine how safe or unsafe the roads are. And then we started this program called Rahi. And the geography of this is separate from districts, separate from cities, separate from schools. So the geography, very interestingly, is the Golden Quadrilateral. And the north-south corridor and the east-west corridor, all national highways and Sightsavers. And you'll be very happy to know we have established close to 32 centers along these corridors.
super.
And and truck drivers are screened there. They are given glasses, and then it's a completely digitized program. If you don't want glasses here, if your glasses are complex, you can get yourself screened in Delhi and pick up your glasses in Kanpur. It's all digitized. You go there, go to a Sightsaver center in Kanpur, pick up your glasses and go. You lose your glasses, you go to any Sightsaver center where you are traveling on the highway, go to a center and tell them that this is my phone number, I've lost my glasses, they'll give you another pair of glasses. So these are the four areas where we are trying to address, as I said, cataract and refractive errors. So
No, definitely with the kind of input that you've given me, there's a lot of information brimming in my mind right now. But the latest thing that you spoke about, truck drivers' eyesight. I mean, we were also very alarmed with this in the past few editions. We noticed companies like Castrol, companies like Shell, actually focusing on truck driver eyesight, and like you mentioned, like almost 50% of the truck drivers have poor eyesight, and they've never ever got their eyes tested. So I'm hoping that there can be collabs with Sightsavers and these companies that I mentioned going forward to support the kind of work that you're doing.
Absolutely.
And also, specifically, I remember you mentioning that in terms of preventive blindness, you actually perform 4 lakh surgeries on an annual basis. Is that correct?
Yes, I mean, with all that I explained, we support 400,000 surgeries, close to 400,000 surgeries every year, and we have close to 40 to 50 NGO eye hospitals who are our partners, based at these remote districts, who are our partners, and that is where the surgeries are done. We, as I said earlier, we work very closely with the government. We have a MOU in each of these 10 states, and wherever there is a government facility which can do surgeries, we support the government facility and bring patients, I mean the cataract patients, to government hospitals, and the surgeries are done by the government ophthalmologists. So quite a large network in that sense in supporting our beneficiaries.
Going back to Sankalp, for which you were awarded through the SABERA Education Trophy in 2020, focusing in, I think, Bihar at that point in time. Now you're obviously expanding to other districts as well. But in the acceptance, I remember Kabir Bedi going ahead and accepting the trophy and being grateful. And we were all kind of kind of kicked about it, that yeah, here's Kabir Bedi. One would have never imagined coming in and thanking Sabera for this. So what is this relationship with Kabir Bedi?
Oh, yes. I mean, this relationship started in 2016-17 when we invited him to be one of our guests in one of our events. And then when he heard about what we do, he was very keen to engage with us. And then we requested him, sir, why don't you become our goodwill brand ambassador? So he very, very quickly agreed. He had a lot of I mean, as you know, his mother turned a Buddhist monk of highest order and has done a lot of work in the hills. And he immediately said, "Oh, eye health is something, blindness is something that I am also interested in." And since then, he's been our brand ambassador, a very, very engaged brand ambassador, very committed to the cause. I can't describe this enough, the kind of support he gives us. Very, very grateful to him. And this one particularly is also one of his very favorite programs, the truck drivers program. He actually launched it. Uh,
Oh,
and has visited many trucker centers. He's done a small documentary on this.
oh,
Very, very engaging brand ambassador. We all at Sightsavers and our board are very, very grateful.
super. So you've been on the field also at many occasions. I'm sure there must be many anecdotes that you have, but share something that really kind of touched your heart and remains so inspiring, so that can inspire more people who are watching this now or in the near future.
So I'll tell you anecdote, but based on a program. So as I said, we run this rural eye health program in 100 districts. And one of the districts which actually was very remote and difficult terrain, dispersed population, was Alipurdwar in North Bengal. I don't know if you have heard of the district. And we were implementing our program. Every time we do a program, there is a very clear-cut plan and task and outcome that we want to achieve. So we do our survey. Survey is called RAB, RAAB, Rapid Assessment of Avoidable Blindness. And then you figure out what is the blindness percentage in that district. And then in 5 years' time, we pick up that we will bring it down to 0.3 or below. Then it doesn't become a big public health issue. So we found when we did this survey in Alipurdwar, we found the blindness was very high, close to 1.4, 1.5% within this population. So we started our work. We said we will go block by block, saturate everything, saturate all, get all the backlogs, and do their surgeries, and finish it in 5 years' time. We're very grateful. Ajim Premji Foundation actually funded that project, and we started doing this, and then gradually we saw in 3-4 years. Then the project was for 5 years. We saw in 4 years' time. We started not getting a lot of cataracts, and I said, "What is this happening? Is it going down?" And then I myself visited North Bengal quite extensively during that time, and then we found the health workers brought I think 72-year-old lady saying that's sir, बहुत ढूंढने के बाद ये मिला. This lady was at home, but we were not getting a lot of cataract these days. But she was at home, can't see. And then I sat down and started talking to her. And I said, Amma, what happened? Why didn't you come when we did? We completely saturated your village. And she said, look, I need someone to go with to your center to do the surgery. And my family is not very supportive. They do their own business. They don't want to lose one day's wage for me. And I said, then what happened today? He said, no, your guy caught me. Saying that, oh, if that is the issue, I will take you. And then he brought me here. And then I got the surgery done. And, that touched me really well, that someone who has a family, been blind for 7 years, and the I mean, the expression post surgery. I mean, I have those photographs. I actually pre and post, and her happiness was more. Again, for the family, she said, "Now I can see my grandchild well." And and then just to end the story, we after this, and I said, let us not wait for 5 years. Let us do the survey again, and we found this has gone to 0.2. So. Successes like this actually motivate you to stay on. You have a purpose, saying that this is what someone who's been blind for 7 years, somehow after a lot of search, everything is over, but she was left out. And then our volunteer caught her and then brought her, and then we get close. So that's something which is very touching. I mean, when in student days we used to read what is transforming lives. What is it exactly? Is it just English or something else? And then when you get into this sector, do some kind of some work like this, and then faced with some of these situations, oh, this is transforming lives. This is what is we all are for. You get a purpose to stay on. So that's all. I mean, I consider that one of our biggest achievements for the entire district. It's not about individual by individual; it's scale. So I'm very proud of that. Yeah.
That's exactly what makes the difference. It's not just actually while scale matters, but these individual stories and the dedication of individuals involved. It's not that just a just an ordinary day at work. It's something
Yes.
which is purpose driven. I mean, that volunteer also who brought that lady on, saying that I mean, it's a huge win for sure. I'm also flashing Sightsavers website address. Are you open for collaboration in terms of volunteers coming and serving with you, or you sharing your knowledge, your failures in different districts, how you have kind of evolved over the years, or even, of course, then participation of larger companies to support the kind of program that you're doing? How can people get in touch with you?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm very, very grateful that you're saying this. Please support us in any way possible. It's not only about money or donations or anything. Please volunteer. Please help us. If you can help us in any other way, you can help us by doing things in a smarter way. Please come and tell us. Please let us know. We will, grab the opportunity of seeking your help. So please spread the word, Suparna.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for taking out the time, for your entire team, for doing what they're doing. And we wish you all the best and hope to see you in the future editions of SABERA as well, so that we can connect you with the right kind of people as well. And you continue to be a part of our ecosystem. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.